Welcome for one before the last episode of House of the Dragon. Hi! If you are new around here, my name is Ro, and I am a Mexican who loves Game of Thrones and also a fan of House Targaryen. Although for this show I haven't picked a side yet. If this is the first video that you're watching from my channel, I do suggest that you go back and watch the whole season because this is the first time that I am reacting to a show and it's been such a fantastic journey. I like to start my reactions with a quick recap from previous episode. But today is not gonna be quick. I think there is just way too much to talk about. So the previous one was loaded with information, with hints, and with things happening. So let's start already. So we had again a big time jump, which I already said I'm not a big fan of, but I understand that it is kind of needed. There are several things that they changed from the books to the series that I have been finding out mostly through Twitter, which in some cases had led to reading spoilers. Thank you, Twitter. Well, whatever. Last episode we learned that Lord Corlys has been wounded in the new battle against the Triarchy, and well, the succession was questioned again. Not the succession to the Iron Throne, but to Driftmark. And the most important detractor that we had was Aemond. I want to say something very loudly here because I think there might be a little bit of confusion. I do understand that Rhaenyra's children should not have a claim to Driftmark because they are not truly Lennor's kids. But that's when one of the things that they omitted or changed from the books comes into play that I would have loved for it to be included in the show. And that is the fact that both Rhaenys and Aemma had dark hair in the book, which would have been perfect for the show because that is what creates the subtlety of questioning the parentage of Rhaenyra's children without being able to be 100% sure. Here in the show, they didn't put them with dark hair, so it's pretty obvious that with a family tree that goes up with only silver hair, well, the kids are kind of impossible to have dark hair. But in the book, it is not so certain because of these two women, the mothers of the two parents of the kids, having dark hair. I would have loved to have that subtlety into the show because now everybody is just like, it's so obvious, it's so evident. But maybe it wasn't and it shouldn't be. I understand that they shouldn't have a claim to Driftmark, but Daemon had it coming. Not for saying the truth, not for calling them illegitimate because I do not like the B word or calling her a whore, but because that's no way of talking to a king. Doesn't matter if you do not agree with your king, in this setting, in this world, you are not able to talk like that to your king and expect to walk away like nothing happened. So yeah, he had it coming. And on the other hand, I didn't like him calling Rhaenyra a whore because she's not. She actually had the permission of her husband to go and have a romance and kids with another man, and he loved her children. I don't see how you are allowed to call a woman like that when she doesn't deserve it. She was not sleeping around, she was not partying and showing everybody how open her marriage was like Leonard did. So why would you call her like that? She chose someone that she actually cared for and who cared for her and have children. Those were children out of love. I do not see why he would call her like that and be justified. Sorry, but not sorry. Especially when you're talking about the favorite kid of the king. Because let's be honest, Viserys does have a favorite kid, which is of course Rhaenyra, the only child that he had with the love of his life. So once we have talked about that, wow, I think that Valyrian steel is known to be very sharp and precise for cuts, but I would not think that it could cut through a skull the way it did, so cleanly and so sharply. That was a very shocking, cathartic kind of scene, and I loved it. Okay, so let's go back into the general story a little bit more. I could see two things very clearly last time, and that is that both Alicent and Rhaenyra are not what they wanted to be when they were much younger. Both of them, thanks to the decisions that their parents made on their lives, that absolutely changed everything. I will start with the one that had a slightly less intense change, which is Rhaenyra. She didn't care about power. She didn't want to be the heir. She only became an heir because her dad didn't have a boy and lost his wife. She wanted to travel. She wanted to go into battle. She wanted a life of adventure with Alicent.
I want to fly with you on Dragonback, see the great wonders across the narrow sea and eat only cake.
I do agree with the cake part. So she actually cared a lot about Alicent. But thanks to her dad's decision to make her the heir, everything changed. She didn't want to have kids, or at least that's not something that she was looking forward. And for someone who didn't want to have kids and now she has 6, that's kind of crazy. The good thing is that I see her having kids with men that she loves, which is amazing. In the middle of all of the complicated situations that she was put on thanks to the heir title, she has taken the direction of her own life as much as she has been able to. I love a woman that is capable of taking horrible situations, impossible odds, and make the best out of it, which is what she had been doing. We do know that she's taking a lot of bad decisions and a lot of questionable decisions that lead to people dying, that leads to a fractured family, but I do respect the fact that she's trying to do the best with the impossible situation that she was given as general life. And on the other hand, we have Alicent, who also her father's decision of making her queen has completely ruined her life. She didn't want to marry Viserys. She felt sorry for him, but she didn't want to marry an old man, be forced to have sex with a man that she most definitely didn't like, and produce children like nothing. She knows that Rhaenyra felt betrayed because Viserys chose her to be his wife, but she has been trying to reconnect with her over and over. All the things that she has done against Rhaenyra is because Otto has been poisoning her, that she's gonna do everything that is in her power to eliminate her and her children as competition, which might be, but at the same time, it was not her idea. She didn't want to raise a son to be determined to take the title of his sister. She was not okay with family members having sex. Now she is trying to force Aegon to be the man that she needs him to be so that they can be safe. She knows that he's horrible. She knows that he's a rapist, a childish, immature, irresponsible kid, and doesn't like the kind of son that she's raising and that she got.
You are no son of mine.
And still she has to push for him to be the king, although she knows perfectly that Rhaenyra is gonna do a good job and that her son is just not gonna do that. She had to marry her son with her own daughter, which for her was not okay. And now it happened. Why? Because Otto, and because power, and because the Iron Throne. The dinner on last episode was so enlightening. Like, you could see both of them wanting to connect again, wanting to be friends, and again, life and circumstances coming in the middle and separating them again. Alicent is just desperate for love, for affection, for approval from both Rhaenyra and her father. The problem is that both of them have very different agendas, the same objective with different paths to it. Most likely would have had a much more pleasant life if her father was not poisoning her and so obsessed with having his grandchildren as kings and other fabulous titles. Poor Alicent, her life was ruined, completely ruined by her dad. But one other thing that I did notice in this dinner, and I gotta say it, Rhaenyra has raised much better kids than Alicent. They behave so much better. I mean, yes, there are jokes, yes, there are things, but even when provoked, they behaved much better than Alicent's. Jace was heavily provoked with the very out of order comments that Aegon was making to Bella, and instead of falling into the provocation, he was the better man and make a toast to keep peace in the table. And then Aemond was provoked by the laugh of Lucerys when the pig arrived, and he couldn't keep it together. Instead of keeping peace, he decided to provoke them. I think I'm more inclined to take the black team, but Aemond is still keeping me on the green side a little bit too. He's a fantastic character. I love the smirk, the permanent smirk that this kid has. I loved it. I loved it. He reminds me so much of Damon, and I'm looking forward to see a little bit more cooperative and not competitive interaction in between them, although they are in opposite sides. Those two are fantastic. And then we saw Missaria again. Why? I don't know. She's gonna play a big part. I still don't know which part she's gonna play, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be big, and I'm so looking forward for it. I love her character. I think we haven't seen much of her, but I would love to know her better and to know which side she's gonna take. And finally, let's talk about Viserys' death. So sad that he got confused. He thought he was talking to Rhaenyra and started talking about Aegon the Conqueror vision to Alicent, and Alicent thought that he was talking about her son, Prince Aegon. And now all this confusion is gonna make Alicent again go against Rhaenyra. She thinks that Viserys told her that she had to make sure that Aegon becomes the king, when in reality he was trying to say all of that to Rhaenyra to tell her that he had so much faith in her that he crawled himself out of bed and dragged himself to the throne room just to make sure that her claim was not going to be questioned. We're going to have terrible consequences of Alicent misinterpreting Viserys' last words. I saw all good, nice Alicent flying out of the window the moment that he died. And I'm thinking that this is gonna be a super fast build-up for the huge explosion that is coming for the end. Or at least I think the explosion of the civil war is gonna happen in the last episode. We saw also Helena saying something about that the beast was under the boards or something like that. She keeps talking so softly, so quickly, and so almost unperceivable that I keep missing everything that she's saying until I edit the videos. So I hope that I will be catching more of her this time. I will also try to keep myself away from Twitter because I am just getting so many spoilers and I don't want to. I don't want to know what's coming. So I will not be checking Twitter for a couple weeks now until I see the end of season. So without any more blah blah blah, let's watch the episode. Dun, 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 dun. I think it changed again, right? Still not sure which part is which, but it did change. The intro changed again. I didn't think about it. Will I cry in this chapter? I hope not. Who are you? Are you one of Rhaenyra's children? The oldest was Aegon, right? Another Aegon.
You're sure?
Oh.
With his own eyes, Your Grace. Stay here. Tell no one. Help me dress.
You did affect her. I was sure that she never loved him, that it was just duty, but maybe she did.
Who knows?
My handmaiden Talia. Some of the servants. I saw him last night before he told me he wished for Aegon to be king.
No, he didn't.
It is the truth, uttered with his own lips. His last words to me, and I was the only one to hear it. And now he's dead.
Yeah, part of the problem is that no one else heard, but the other part of the problem is that you misunderstood.
What is it that could not await an hour?
The king is dead. We grieve for Viserys the Peaceful, but he has left us a gift. With his last breath and his final wish that his son, Aegon, should succeed him as Lord of the Seven Kingdoms.
But that's why the war is gonna start, because no one else heard
We
it.
may proceed now with the full assurance of his blessing on our long-laid plans.
There is much to be done, as we've previously discussed.
Am I to understand that members of the small council have been planning secretly to install my son without me?
I will not have this. To hear that you are plotting to replace the king's chosen heir with an impostor.
His firstborn son is hardly an impostor.
You heard the Lord Hand, plot or no. The king changed his mind.
I have known Viserys longer than any, and I will not believe that he said this with only the boy's mother as a witness.
Of course.
It is treason, at the least. The king was well last night.
Which of us are you accusing of regicide, Lord Beesbury?
I care not. I will have no part.
Cole, what did you just do?
Throw down your sword and remove your cloak, Sir Criston.
I will not suffer insults to Her Grace the Queen.
Sacris, you put aside your blade.
Ideally, we're gonna get rid of him, but I didn't think it was gonna be like that.
Has it come to this?
Lord Commander, enough. The door remains shut until we finish our business.
Do you realize now, Alicent, how powerless you really are?
Proposal.
What of Rhaenyra?
The former heir cannot, of course, be allowed to remain free.
They were trying to imprison her.
She and her family will be given the opportunity to publicly swear obeisance to the new king.
She will never bend the knee. Nor will Daemon, which you know. You plan to kill them.
They will. Yeah, that's what they plan.
And all here accede to this.
A living challenger invites battle and bloodshed.
He's doing exactly what he warned you that Rhaenyra will do, but it's him.
The king wouldn't wish for any
But the king did
unsavory...
not wish for the murder of his daughter.
And yet,
One more word, and I'll have you removed from this chamber and sent to the wall.
The only card she has on her sleeve is Cole.
what do you suggest, Your Grace?
Time is of the essence.
She cannot even think clearly.
Lord Commander Westerling, take your knights to Dragonstone. Be quick and be clean.
He will not. Of course he will not. He's taking Rhaenyra's side.
I am Lord Commander of the King's Guard. I recognize no authority but the King's, and until there is one, I have no place here.
I like it. You have been loyal to her out of despite, but you should be doing the same, Cole.
It is our fate, I think, to crave always what is given to another.
She's embroidering a spider?
Where is Aegon?
Not here.
He's not in his rooms.
Oh, poor Helena. Where is he? Drunk somewhere? They already have 2 kids.
What's happened?
Your father.
There is a beast beneath the pool.
Again with that.
Oh, my dearest love.
He knows.
Sir Eric, where's the prince?
Forgive me, Lord Hand. I do not know.
Well, you're sworn to protect him.
Believe he may have left the keep secretly.
Find him. Take no one else but your brother. None can know who you are or what you seek, including the Queen.
Oh, Otto.
Bring him to me and me alone, Sir Eric.
She's gonna die too. Or at least they are gonna try to kill her too.
What is the meaning of this?
All the servants. At least the ones who know.
Gone.
Ah, Larys, of course. No one can know.
Prince Aegon's not to be found within the castle walls, Your Grace.
I trust again to you, Sir Criston, and to your loyalty. Aegon must be found, and he must be brought to me. The very fate of the Seven Kingdoms depends on it. Everything you feel for me is your queen.
I will not fail you.
I'll come with you. Cole needs me. Sir Eric isn't the only one who knows Aegon's doings.
The walking is exactly like Daemon. Now it's gonna be a race. Let's see who will find Aegon first. But I think I know where Aegon is. I think he will be where Viserys is.
And describe him.
You see, the man we seek is the young Prince Aegon.
He does not frequent the Street of Silk. His tastes are known to be less discriminating.
Meaning that he's going to lower places.
But you've grown.
Viserys amended his wishes. You once swore your banners to Rhaenyra. You must now pledge them to the future king. You'll not leave this room without declaring your intention.
Meaning either you bend the knee or you will be killed.
I am no oath breaker. I will not bend the knee.
Good. But he will be the first to die. Probably Lord Caswell is just gonna pretend to bend the knee, but actually
Anyone else?
go tell Rhaenyra or help her.
House Fell keeps its sworn oath to the princess.
Lord Caswell hasn't said a word, but we know he's loyal to Rhaenyra. He's just gonna be pretending, I think.
Long live the king.
Two houses openly supporting Rhaenyra, as they should. First of all, we already know that Alicent misunderstood, but second of all, even if we didn't know, no one heard it. Only her. And it was done, closed doors, no witnesses. You don't leave unless you do it. It's, like,
He could be in the
fish.
hands of... He could be dead.
Let us hope for your mother's sake that is not the case.
Is he fighting?
Listen,
Or betting? Oh. What is this?
They have them grow the nails and file the teeth. Prince Aegon spends many a night in this place. Do you see now what he is? You've not seen everything. Aegon, one of many I'd wager.
Yes, and they're fighting also? I hope both twins are gonna go to the black side, just because of that. Aegon shouldn't be the king.
Ever the good soldier in search of a wastrel who's never taken half an interest in his birthright. Desire the younger brother who studies history, who trains with the sword, who rides the largest dragon in the world. Desire who should be...
Yes, I agree.
I know what it is to toil for what others are freely given.
And we can't find him, Cole. We are decent men with no taste for depravity. I'm next in line to the throne. Should they come looking for me, I intend to be found.
I was actually expecting Aemond to go kill his brother at some point.
Aegon is unfit to rule. We swore an oath of service until death.
A moment of your time, my lords. I can take you to Prince Aegon. I'll tell you, for a price. My mistress will not treat with the servants of the keep. She'll trust this to the hand of the king only.
Impossible.
I think he will wish to hear what the White Worm can tell him.
The White Worm. Is she the White Worm, Miss Arya? Laris?
He was fleeing from the gate. A warning for the princess, I'd wager.
Where were you going then with such urgency?
Say you were going to find Aegon.
Let the king's justice take him. Let go of me! You did well.
No. What?
You've spent many hours with the queen of late.
There's no reason those hours cannot in the end benefit you.
He's willing to spy for everyone. He's willing to sell any kind of information he possesses to the best buyer. Interesting. I think she actually kind of loved him, sort of. Maybe not loved him, but cared for him.
I will do you the considerable courtesy of assuming there is a good reason for the outrage of my treatment here this morning. My sincerest regrets for the lack of ceremony. The king. And you are usurping the throne. It was my husband's dying wish. Believe it or no, Aegon will be king. House Velaryon has long allied itself with the Princess Rhaenyra, and what has it gained you? It is your husband who grasps so heedlessly for the throne. And even he has abandoned you, returning grievously, if not mortally wounded, leaving the Lady of Driftmark to chart her course alone. The word of my house is not fickle. Princess Rhaenys, I loved my husband, but I will speak the truth we both know. You should have been queen. I little thought to hear those words from you. Viserys would have lived his days a country lord, content to hunt and study his histories, but here we are. We do not rule, but we may guide the men that do, gently, away from violence and sure destruction, and instead toward...
But your son do not need peaceful guidance.
And what of my dragon? If we are overmatched, Rhaenyra will be tempted to strike us and war will ensue. Without your dragon, she may be persuaded to negotiate. You are wiser than I believed you to be. A true queen counts the cost to her people. And yet you toil still in service to men. Your father, your husband, your son.
Fight for your own.
Have you never imagined yourself on the Iron Throne?
I don't think so. That's something she didn't want.
Leave you with your thoughts.
But she is clever. I said it many times before. She's a pawn, but she's a smart pawn. Smart enough to see down, but not smart enough to see up.
My prince.
Miss Arya?
You yourself are the mysterious white worm, I take it.
My condolences on the passing of your king.
She She knows.
The prince is in Flea Bottom when no one is to be trusted. I'd best secrete him somewhere safe.
Where's the prince?
I want an end to the savage use of children in Flea Bottom.
Yes, please.
An obscenity, either tolerated or ignored by the crown.
I look into it. You have my word.
When your plots ripen and you install your grandson on the throne, remember, it was me who put him there. There is no power but what the people allow you to take.
I will remember.
I heard that Arik and Eric are gonna be in separate bands of this fight, and I think these, seeing the proclivities of Aegon, is what's gonna send them to two different directions.
Where is the white worm? I want my mother.
I want my mommy.
Your grandfather hand. We'll meet you outside the city walls. You flee where all the men die seeking Aegon.
I do regret this, friend.
I think Aemond is gonna kill Aegon. Or at least I hope. Because that kid shouldn't be a king. Why is he laughing?
Disappeared.
Is our father truly dead?
Yes. And they're going to make you king.
No! Are you going to help me? No! Let me go!
Where's your brother, huh?
I have no wish to rule, no taste for duty. I'm not suited.
The queen awaits.
Don't worry, he's gonna take you with mommy. Although he wanted to kill you. Your own brother wanted to kill you.
Well played.
None of this is a game.
And yet you treat it as one. We've relied on one another these many years, and now it is the good of the family that we both desire. Whatever our differences, our hearts remain as one.
Oh, our hearts were never one. I see that now. Rather, I've been a piece that you moved about the board.
If that is true, then I made you queen of the 7 kingdoms. Would you have desired it otherwise?
I wanted whatever you impressed upon me to want.
Yes.
And now the debt comes due. A debt you are happy enough to pay.
A sacrifice. No king has ever lived that hasn't had to forfeit the lives of a few to protect the many.
Reluctance to murder is not a weakness. I have Aegon. We'll proceed now as I see fit.
She finally opened her eyes.
We will send terms to Rhaenyra on Dragonstone, such that she may accept without shame.
Her allies will mass behind her banners, looking for her return.
Then she must not return. My husband would have desired this mercy be shown to his daughter.
Your husband? Or you, his daughter's childhood companion?
Both will wish the same.
Criston Cole will be named Lord Commander of the King's Guard. My son will be anointed tomorrow at dawn. The whole of King's Landing must witness his ascent. My son will take the crown of his namesake, the Conqueror, and carry Blackfire, his sword. Let the people remember the ancient strength of House Targaryen.
You look so much like your mother in certain lights.
Oh, he's trying to soften her. Oh, but she saw through him. Good. Good for you, Alicent. Finally opening your eyes. He wanted her to have the courage of following his orders, not the courage to face him.
Your Grace.
What is it now?
The hour is late, Lord Larys.
I have found out something you should know. Have you asked yourself how it is that your father found Aegon first?
What does he want? He's playing her and she's playing him.
There is a web of spies at work in the Red Keep. More than once it has proved advantageous to those willing to feed the Weaver.
And this Weaver watches me.
Valia. Ew, you perv. That's how she pays for everything that you help her with? By showing you her feet?
One of the little spiders is your lady-in-waiting.
Just because his feet are deformed?
Talia.
There are more like her, and I do not know their number.
That's so weird.
There is one way to destroy his advantage.
By removing her.
It must be taken out at the head.
I assume this task falls within your expertise.
If you wish it.
She does.
It will be done.
She does wish to regain some control over her own life. Ew. Creep. Ugh. How disgusting. Everyone's thinking, considering options, trying to find their best course of action.
With me, Princess. I cannot let this treachery stand.
Oh, they killed Caswell, yeah. Place him in plain sight. She wants her dragon. Where's her dragon?
Where are we?
Just south of Kingsway. The Blackwater's this way.
Are they gonna make it? Who is this? Aemond? Was that the place where Aegon was kept?
If I could get to the dragon pit, then...
No. They'll expect you there, Princess. You must make for the riverfront and find a ship. Before they know you've gone.
Shouldn't be wearing his cloak. They will know perfectly who he is. Who's that? Will she make it out? New crown.
Have the decency to look grateful. Do you know what has been done to give you this day?
But he doesn't want it.
In an hour you will be king.
And my father never wanted this. Steadfastly, he upheld Rhaenyra's claim.
He changed his mind.
He could have, but he never did, because he didn't like me.
I don't like you.
With his final breath, he whispered to me that you should take his place on the throne.
She honestly believes that, but...
Do not toy with me, Mother.
I speak the truth. Your grandfather, the Hand, will try to impress on you that Rhaenyra should be put to the sword. You must reject this counsel.
Do you love me?
You imbecile.
What an answer! She's gonna end up in the exact same place that she wanted to go, right? That's where they keep the dragons, I think? I think so, yeah. They want all King's Landing to witness the crowning, but I think that's precisely where the dragons are, so she might be able to escape, or not.
People of King's Landing, today is the saddest of days. Viserys the Peaceful is dead, but it is also the most joyous of days. He whispered his final wish that his firstborn son, Aegon, should succeed him.
Well, the people already was thinking that Rhaenyra was not gonna be a great queen. They said that they thought she was gonna be feeble, right? So they're probably happy anyway. They don't really care, I guess.
It is your great good fortune and privilege. A new day for our realm.
Oh, poor boy. He doesn't want it. A new pawn to be pushed around by Otto or Alicent or both. Why is there always someone coughing when everything is silent?
May the warrior give him courage.
Because he needed.
May the smith lend strength to his sword and shield. May the father defend him in his need. May the crone lift her shining lamp and
yes, she's gonna make it out.
To wisdom.
The crown of the conqueror, passed down through generations.
I gotta say it's a horrible crown. He doesn't want it. He doesn't deserve it. He would be better suited for that. Most definitely.
Let the seven bear witness. Aegon Targaryen is the true heir to the Iron Throne.
Oh, poor Helena. She doesn't want to look at him.
All hail his grace, Aegon, second of his name, king of the Andals and the Rhoynar and the First Men, lord of the Seven Kingdoms, and protector of the realm.
Is he gonna change his mind now that everybody's like, yay? Or he's gonna feel more lost, even. And where's Rhaenys? Is Rhaenys dragon the beast under the boards? Helena is looking away. Why? I mean, we already know that she doesn't like her husband. Yeah, he changed his mind. He likes the cheering. Whoa, yes, yes! She was the beast under the boards. I love a good dragon scene. That's why Helena was looking away. That is why. Yep. I don't think she's gonna try to kill anyone. I think she's just gonna fly away, right? Oh, Rhaenys, my queen. Who never was.
Open the doors!
Yeah, open the doors. Why were they closing them?
Get to me.
Oh, Alicent, what would you do against the dragon? It would be way too easy to just burn them out. It was just a warning. So good. Wow. First of all, I loved the dragon scene. The beast beneath the boards. And why Helena was panicking, looking away, just trying to get out of there. Oh, yeah. This was a very interesting episode. Eventful, but at the same time, kind of quiet. Most of the houses are easily scared. And there were only 2 houses willing to stand for Rhaenyra. 3, actually, because Lord Caswell actually wanted to pretend and just go warn Rhaenyra, but he got caught, sadly. Yeah, we start to see how people is usually just looking for the good way out. You know, that they don't really have real, authentic allegiances. They just want to survive, which I kind of understand. And yes, as I thought, this was just the build-up for the big explosion in the last episode, and that was good. Although I didn't like things were so dirty and twisted all the time. Otto was already scheming with other people like the Lannisters to take Aegon as king with or without last wishes of the king. And Alicent was not even in the loop, which I think was the one thing that made her realize how she was just being used all this time. And we have finally started to see Alicent taking her own side, taking her own decisions and going a little bit against her father, realizing how he really just fucked her life up. There is no other way of saying it. We didn't see Rhaenyra or Daemon because it was just like a few hours of the next morning. One thing that did bother me is that Otto didn't grant Viserys a proper funeral. There should have been a funeral and then a crowning, but no, he just skipped the funeral completely. Like if Viserys didn't deserve as a king a proper goodbye. And I think we're gonna start seeing a different side of Aegon because he suddenly liked the cheering and he suddenly liked everybody liking him. This is not gonna be a 2-side battle. I think we're gonna see one side united, strong against a kind of divided side of the Greens because the queen is gonna try something and then Aemond, I'm pretty sure, is gonna try something else, and then Otto is gonna be trying something else. So it's gonna be like 3 different paths trying to win for the green side, while the black ones are gonna be completely united. I need time. I need time to think a little bit more, and I might be finally taking a side next episode. it will depend a lot on what Aemond does and what Alicent does on next episode. I would finally have a side. Most likely it's gonna be black, but I still like a lot Aemond. But for the moment, long live the queen who never was. What about you? Have you already chose a side? Let me know in the comments down below if you are team black or team green. I would like to know to which side the balance of my subscribers is tilted to. So if you enjoyed this reaction as much as I did the chapter, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And don't forget to click on the bell to get notifications every single time that I upload a new video. And remember to stay tuned for a special Day of the Dead video on November the 2nd. That was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you next week. Tequila Princess, out. Bye!